Hey mate, tell me about. I noticed you said with that you came back from college. You said support, like you said, some people you got around the right people. I'm guessing. Who were they? Give them a shout, please. And why were they good for it? Do we all need support in terms of people to lean on sometimes?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's so much stuff that you just can't get through on your own. And for me, obviously, my parents are a massive part. They know the game of basketball. Talking to them about coming back, they were fully supportive. They're like, "Look, you got to get back to who you are." Um, my whole family, my brother was just in the NBL. My sisters were both. Alicia was still at college, but Keely had just won a couple championships in the WNBL.
Yeah.
And talking to them about it, and it's like, well, you're doing this. They're kind of honest with me. You're doing this stuff wrong, but you got to work harder if you want to be successful. And the family was the immediate group of circle of like close people to pull me into line. And then I had some good friends like Maxie Norton that I was talking to, Dan Greeter here I was in constant contact with throughout my college career. But I was also really lucky to have my under-19s Australian coach Darren Perry was
Nice.
coaching the Dandenong Rangers in there. I think it was the first year of NBL 1.
Yeah.
And he was in constant contact with me throughout my college career. And when I told him I was thinking about coming back, he was like, "You can come play for me and I'll help you, get back to where you were and be ready for the 19s Worlds that was coming up." And so I was really lucky and fortunate to have him in my circle and, come back to Dandenong and play a season under him where before every game, he knew I told him how I was feeling, what I was going through. For every game, he'd just look at me and just say, "Just have fun."
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Yeah.
And, that was massive for me coming back from what wasn't an enjoyable environment to have a coach now, just instead of like me being nervous and scared about the game, he's like, "Just go out there and have fun."
Yes.
And he really helped me work through it and bring back the enjoyment of basketball for me and enjoying working hard to get good and to win basketball games. So that they were probably the massive ones. And also Chris Anstey was at Dandenong at that time, and he was more than happy to come in and work out with me every week and just do some one-on-one stuff. And that was cool for me to just, be getting this coaching from such a successful basketball player one-on-one. He's teaching me a couple of his little tricks. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And I've tried to apply them in my game till today. So
yeah,
that was kind of the group of people that really helped me through that time.
Yeah, cool. I reckon what I'm hearing there, just for everyone, what's like with the support, like we got parents, like, of athletes, like what did you take away from, were they good listeners? Like you said about fun, like just getting back to the roots of just enjoy yourself. Your coach said that. Like, what would you suggest to parents in terms of if someone's going through some disappointment or some tough times, those support people, what would you say would be some great advice for parents to give back to athletes?
I think a massive thing that I think Dad was really good at for us was being honest.
Yeah.
Not sugarcoating anything.
Yeah.
It's if I had a bad game for Dad, he'd start coaching me, and I wouldn't want to hear it. And it's and obviously not every parent's a coach, but it's for him, he'd never be like, "Oh, Sam, like you were really good at this, and you sucked at that." It was more like, "Well, you rebounded well, but that you took some bad shots, or you were complaining to the ref too much." It was never, at least with me. I know my siblings started to fight back with him a little bit more, so I got a bit angry. But it was never super aggressive, angry, yelling coaching. It was, it was constructive to me.
Yeah.
It was, he I don't know how to word it.
That's okay, mate. It's okay. I guess, you've been lucky, I guess. Is your support people all people that know basketball, or is there someone that may not know basketball that provide you with some, that they got your back. Like, I wonder if there's anyone out there in your world, I guess, in terms of they don't know basketball, so it's just about they might support you in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, the big one for me is, and he does know basketball, is Max Norton.
Yeah.
He never tries to talk to me about the games or like what happened. If I have a good game, he'll say good game, and he understands he does understand the game, but it's never, oh, your teammates don't pass you the ball, or
Right.
oh, the defense, the coach is just yelling at you. It's, if he'll call me after a game, it'll be, oh, good job tonight, mate. What are you getting up to for the rest of the night?
Right.
Or what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's nice and refreshing to just have someone to not talk about some of the stuff that you're just always so focused on.
Yeah.
And he's been great for me with that, because he really understands. And I think him having Mitch as his brother, like, I'm sure Mitch had probably told him off for trying to talk to him about basketball before, and Maxie's learned, and now with me, he's awesome with it.
Yeah. That's awesome. And as a mate, probably understands his role as a mate. And Maxie does know basketball, but understands, more importantly, probably for you, it's about just being a good mate at the time, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool, man. Awesome. All right, mate. That's cool as. All right, let's do this. Who do you look up to? Who's like your guy growing up, or someone even recently? Like, you talking about, who's your mentor, your role model? Who's that for you, and what did you love about him?
I mean, a recent one for me was definitely Dave Anderson.
Yeah.
So he was at the Hawks my first year when I came back.
Oh, yes,
and
right. Yeah.
He took me under his wing a little bit, and he's had such a successful basketball career all across the world.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I obviously knew who he was when I was younger, being a Boomers legend and an Australian basketball legend. And, coming into the team, I was a bit nervous, like, oh, what's this guy going to be like? Like, is he going to have time for me? And the first weekend I'm there, he invites me, Greta, and Emmett over to his place.
Yeah.
And he says, help me build my IKEA furniture for my apartment. And he got a carton of beers, which probably, obviously, we were old enough, probably not for some of the kids. And we just sat there all night building his furniture, talking, chatting, trading stories.
Oh.
And he, ever since then, we've been great mates.
Yeah.
And I always talk to him about kind of basketball, try and pick up. I mean, he was trying to teach me his fadeaway, which I think I got a little bit of last year. And then just, for any advice or whatever, he's been a player that similar position to me, similar skill set.
Yeah.
And as a young fella, especially when I got into state teams and started making national teams, he was a guy that I looked up to.
Yes.
And then to finally meet him and be around him, and realize not just how good of a basketball player he is, but how good of a person and teammate and just like general nice guy, was pretty cool for me, and kind of gave me something to aspire to. Not just, obviously, I would love to have his basketball career, but I want to be like Dave when, I want these young guys to come in and be like, oh man, Sam, in 20 years' time, Sam took us under his wing and, taught us and made us feel really welcome.
Yes.
That was super special to me.
Oh man, I mean, we talk about integrity for with grit, right? And importantly, passing on that. Like, I don't know Dave Anderson, but I played against him in a Masters comp, but I don't know the guy. But it's so awesome. Like, what I would see is him as a good guy. Didn't know that, but to hear that story is super cool. And he wants to pass on, stuff to you, and you're already thinking about passing that on as you move through your career, mate. I think that's amazing. That's awesome.